In 1787, December 12th, to be exact, Pennsylvania, Mr. Benjamin Franklin, does anybody know what bill he's on? 100, okay? Now, was he a president?
No.
No, but he was a great philosopher, great, political theorist, awesome guy. Now, they were all for it, okay? They were all for this. Okay, we just agreed as a class, as a state, we do want to play this. Okay? This is in 1787. Now, Pennsylvania, where are you? Yes. Okay? Well, how did you feel creating that? In 6 minutes.
I felt like we didn't know what we were doing. But then something came over my head. I was like, hey, we should do this. That was the answer. This is what happened.
Okay, so let's say this. We started off with a question mark. 6 minutes later, we were happy. We were good. We found something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's called procrastination, guys. All right, so we voted for that, right? Awesome. Next, New Jersey. William Patterson, where are you? Yes. Okay, can you explain your game?
So what we did was we got the paper clips and we assorted them into judicial, executive, and legislative branches.
Okay.
And then, like, if you rolled a 1 or a 2, you would get in the judicial branch, and you would have to go to jail for the crime you committed.
Okay.
And then if you rolled a 3 or a 4, the executive branch, and then you could enforce a law or something.
Yeah, you're right.
And then a 5 and 6 is legislative, which you can make a law.
Cool. All right, so votes for this game. Leaders, raise your hand. Or delegates. 1, 2, just 2?
Yeah.
All right, 3. Okay, if you're against it, raise your hand. That should be probably everybody else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 6. Okay, so we agreed to disagree that we would not want to play this game. Right? Okay, now, Pennsylvania, Mr. Patterson, how did you feel about creating that game?
I don't know, just came up with it.
So, like, spur of the moment. What else? So, really just spur of the moment. We just.
We thought that it had to do with, like,
So, okay. So, it seems like the majority of you pretty much didn't know what to do until about like a minute left, and then y'all figure something out. Okay? That's fine. All right? Now, check this out. Check this out. New Jersey was all for it, too. They were all for the Constitution. We want to change the Articles of Confederation. We want the Constitution. Okay? But the only problem with this, and there's 3 people who didn't sign the Constitution, 2 delegates from Virginia, 1 from Massachusetts. They pretty much were against it. They didn't want rule because when you have a Constitution in place, that means there's 3 branches of government. Okay? Now, if I were to ask you, do you believe the Constitution should be in existence? Would you say yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, the majority says yes, right? Okay, moving on. Georgia, Mr. Few, where are you? Georgia. Hold on, Georgia. Who's Georgia? Somebody had Georgia. Virginia, South Carolina, Connecticut. Did Georgia just run out of the way? Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts, what y'all have? Maryland, what y'all have? Wow, did somebody just get rid of Georgia? Well, I kept Rhode Island. Okay. All right, so we'll just kind of move on from that. Let's say that game was beautiful. Okay, 9-0, great. Okay. Same thing. The Georgia delegates believed that the Constitution was good. They were for it. Nobody was against it. Okay. Connecticut, Mr. Sherman, where are you at? All right, Mr. Sherman, let's see what you got.
All right, so we came up with the game of have the dice numbers 1 through 6.
Listen up.
You roll the dice, and whatever number you get, that's how many minutes you have. You get all the points like that.
Okay, so what Fernando said, you have, based on whatever you roll, that's how many minutes you have to connect and link all of the paper clips together. Okay? So if you cannot put all of them together in 6 minutes, shame on you. Alright? I'm just kidding, guys. Alright, so Who's for this game? Where are my delegates? Yes or no? Yes? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we got 7. So I'm assuming 2 are against it, right? Okay, Mr. Sherman, how did you feel about creating this game? Confused. Okay, that's fine. Confused. All right. 128 to 40. Okay, so there were another state that were for the Constitution. Mind you, you need 9. You needed 9 of the 13 states. Massachusetts, where you at?
Oh, right here.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, our game was, okay, so like, you're gonna try to make a object out of the paper clip and you can undo it. And you roll, if you roll the dice, and whatever number you get is how many minutes like that you can, I mean how many clips to do the picture.
Okay, so you roll the dice,
Yeah.
and based on your number, that tells you
How many of these?
how many paper clips you can use.
Yeah.
How do you know what to decide what you're making?
You just come up with it.
So
And
whatever it
whoever
is, you
has
got-
the best thing.
So if I roll a 6, I can make anything. You just got to use 6 paper clips,
Yeah.
right? Do you have to connect together,
Yeah.
or it just has to make something?
It has to connect.
Okay, that's their claim. Who votes for it? 1, 2, 3. So just a whopping 3. Okay.
Y'all are-
So look, that's a big X. Okay, so far, okay, out of 4, we're 2 and 2. Okay, we need 9 states to agree. Okay, this is what happened. Realistically, the delegates decided 187 to 168. It was a close battle. Massachusetts is now a part of the 13 states. Maryland, McHenry, where you at?
Right here.
Yes, Maryland.
Okay, our game is a probability game, so basically you can choose up to six paper clips, and in your group, like you roll the dice, and whoever gets the number on the dice, that's the amount of paper clips they got, they get a point, and they can go around to as many games as they decide, and whoever has the most points in the end.
Awesome. Big case, sounds good. So we're in 1788, April 28th. According to what really happened, Maryland became a state. According to this classroom, how do you want to play that game? 1, 2, the whopping 2. Okay. So in this class, we decided not to go with Maryland, with their beliefs in the Constitution, but realistically, Maryland did. Okay? Good job. Next, South Carolina. Yes, South Carolina.
Basically, what we did was that you had to, that basically you would you would say something that led up to the Constitution.
Okay.
And once you say it, you have to connect it to the paper. And then you have to roll the dice to see how many points you get, and if you get like 6 points, you get 6 points.
Okay.
Then whoever has the most points at the end wins.
Okay, so simply all you're doing, you're just stating something about the Constitution. That's a fact, correct? Once you state that, you now
What led up to the
or what is it something that led up to the Constitution or the Constitution itself? You would attach the clip to the envelope, and then you roll the dice. Whoever had the most points won. Correct? Cool. All right. Show of hands. How many of you voted for that game? 1, 2, just 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 4. All right. This is what happened realistically. South Carolina was all for it. Okay, by a landslide. They wanted the Constitution. They wanted to formally be one of the 13 states of the United States. New Hampshire. New Hampshire?
You use about put take clips in a row. When you roll the dice 1 through 5.
Listen.
Then if it lands on 1 through 5, that's how many paper clips you get. Whoever has the most wins. Yeah.
Okay, one more time for people in the back.
I want to say it again.
Yeah, one more time.
So
Listen up. Massachusetts.
So we line these paper clips up, and we got to roll the dice from that's 1 through 5. That's how many paper clips you get. And whoever has the most wins. Yeah.
Okay, so you have 12 paper clips. You roll the dice. If you roll a 6, you got to roll again, right?
Yeah.
And if you want number 1 through 5, you take that many clips. Whoever has the most at that round wins. How many do you vote for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Okay, we got 5. Okay, so 5 against 4. Realistically, New Hampshire, they were decided to become one of the 13 states. Okay, Virginia. James Madison. Anybody know what his nickname is? The father of the. What are we talking about?
Bill of Rights.
No. Huh? Constitution. Yeah, he's father of the Constitution. All right. June 25th, 1788, James Madison presented this case. Where is he? Over here. All right, Mr. James Madison. What you got? You what? Okay, so simply what you do, roll the dice. If you get something between 1 and 3, you take that many paper clips. If you don't get anything 3 or below, you got to re-roll, and whoever has the most paper clips at the end of that round wins. Okay? Votes. Yes, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, 5. 5 against 4. Virginia was for it, and Virginia's for it again. Okay, I kind of touched on the Virginia plan. Simply what that was, that broke up the 2 chambers of Congress, House of Representatives, House of Senate. Virginia plan basically stated that the bigger states had more representation in Congress. The New Jersey plan pretty much said the smaller states had equal protection or equal representation in the Senate. So that's why the Senate requires 2 members per state, whereas House of Representatives based on population. New York? New York? Yeah. You don't have New York? Okay, we'll move on. New York simply was one of the later states, and this kind of all goes in together. They were kind of late onto it. When the first Continental Congress met, they were not there, and they showed up later in the week, and agreed. Now, this debate was 100 days, essentially, all the way from May to September in Independence Hall in Philadelphia. It was hot, and nobody was wearing t-shirts and shorts. Y'all ever seen what they wore back then?
What?
Like the big clothes and the sides.
And like
Yeah, all the wigs. Like, it was really hot, and they did not leave until everybody agreed. North Carolina was the same way. They came in later on in November. They were a part of the 13 states as well. And with Rhode Island, Rhode Island was the only state that was not at the Constitutional Convention. They did not want the Constitution to go into place. The problem with that is, you know how we just debated whether or not we wanted to play a game or whether or not we didn't, and it was about 50-50? That was the problem. Rhode Island wanted to remain a Confederate government, meaning the states have the power, 13 colonies. They didn't show up. Okay, they thought, we don't want the government to have too much power, so we're out. But eventually, they came in 1790, about 3 years later. So how did this game relate to the Constitution, like I just said? They had to improve the Articles of Confederation. They felt it was too weak. They wanted to change the Constitution so people can go abide it by 3 branches of government, divide power. And that's why I asked you, how did you feel? Some of them felt good, some of them felt bad, but the whole idea was 9 of 13. There's the Constitution. Y'all have a great weekend.